the serpent, a creature both revered and feared, worshipped and demonized. The serpent has slithered its way into the very fabric of human consciousness, leaving an indelible mark on our collective psyche. Across cultures and throughout history, the serpent holds a prominent place in mythology, folklore, and spiritual traditions. Its image is etched into the annals of time, appearing in the sacred texts and artifacts of civilizations long gone. From the ancient Egyptians, who crowned their gods with the uraeus, a rearing cobra symbolizing divine wisdom and power, to the Greeks, who saw the serpent as a guardian of sacred places, the serpent's symbolism is rich and varied. In Hindu tradition, the serpent is depicted as the Kundalini energy, a coiled force lying dormant at the base of the spine, waiting to be awakened. This energy, once activated, rises through the chakras, bringing enlightenment and spiritual awakening. The serpent embodies a complex duality. It is both a symbol of life and death, creation and destruction, wisdom and deceit. This duality is reflected in its ability to shed its skin, a powerful metaphor for transformation and renewal. It represents both the primal forces of creation and destruction, embodying the raw, untamed power of nature. The serpent's presence in myths often signals a time of great change, a turning point in the story. The wisdom of the ages and the cunning of a trickster are both encapsulated in the serpent. It is a creature of paradox, embodying both the highest wisdom and the lowest cunning. In many ancient cultures, the serpent was not inherently evil, but rather a powerful entity possessing knowledge hidden from humans. It was seen as a guardian of secrets, a keeper of hidden wisdom. It represented the life force itself, the cyclical nature of death and rebirth, shedding its skin like the past to emerge anew. This process of shedding and renewal is a potent symbol of transformation and the eternal cycle of life. The serpent's association with wisdom stems from its perceived ability to navigate between worlds, to move effortlessly between the physical and spiritual realms. This ability to traverse different planes of existence made the serpent a powerful symbol in many spiritual traditions. This mystical understanding, however, became twisted, the serpent's wisdom morphing into a tool for deception, a catalyst for humanity's fall from grace. The serpent's role in the story of the Garden of Eden is perhaps the most well-known example of this transformation. This fall, as described by many esoteric traditions, including the Cassiopaean transmissions, was not a literal tumble from a physical garden, but a descent of consciousness, a shift from a higher state of being into a denser, more limited reality. The serpent, in this context, becomes a symbol of the force that led humanity away from its divine origins, tempting us with the allure of knowledge and the seductive power of the material world. It is a reminder of the dual nature of wisdom, which can both enlighten and deceive, uplift and corrupt. The serpent's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the delicate balance between knowledge and power, and the consequences of tipping that balance. The Cassiopaeans, a purportedly advanced extraterrestrial civilization, channeled through a Ouija board, present a compelling narrative of humanity's origins and our fall from grace. This narrative, shrouded in mystery and cosmic intrigue, challenges our conventional understanding of human history and our place in the universe. According to their transmissions, humanity did not originate on Earth, but existed in a higher density, a realm of light and unity known as the fourth density. This higher density is described as a state of pure, radiant energy, where beings are not confined by physical limitations and exist in a harmonious symphony with the universe. In this state, we were beings of pure consciousness, telepathic and interconnected, existing in a state of harmony with the cosmos. Our thoughts and emotions were transparent, shared freely among all, creating a collective consciousness that thrived on mutual understanding and unconditional love. However, this idyllic existence was disrupted by the intervention of a being or group of beings the Cassiopaeans refer to as the lizards. These entities, often depicted as menacing and ominous, introduced a dark and unsettling presence into our once harmonious reality. These beings, motivated by a desire for control and dominion, saw humanity's potential for spiritual evolution as a threat. They feared that our ascension would diminish their power and influence, prompting them to take drastic measures to ensure their dominance. They devised a plan to trap us in a lower density, to veil our consciousness and cut us off from our true nature. This plan involved manipulating our perception of reality, creating a dense material world that would obscure our higher spiritual awareness and bind us to physical existence. Their tool of choice, the serpent. This symbol, rich in ancient mystical connotations, was used to represent the cunning and deceptive nature of their plan. Not a literal snake, but a symbolic representation of the seductive whispers of the ego, the allure of power, the temptation to choose knowledge over wisdom. These dark whispers enticed humanity to embrace lower vibrational energies, leading us away from our true enlightened state. The serpent, in this context, represents the lower vibrational energies that hold us bound to the material world. Fear, desire, separation, and the illusion of duality. These energies create a false sense of identity and division, keeping us trapped in a cycle of suffering and ignorance, far removed from our original state of unity and light. The serpent's deception, according to the Cassiopaeans, was the introduction of the concept of duality. This was not merely a trick or a simple act of deceit, but a profound shift in the very fabric of human consciousness. The serpent, often seen as a symbol of cunning and wisdom, brought forth the idea that there could be more than one perspective, more than one reality. In the fourth density, there was no good and evil, no right and wrong, only the unity of all things. It was a realm where everything was interconnected, where the boundaries between self and other were non-existent. This unity was the natural state of being, a harmonious existence where all was one and one was all. The lizards, or more widely known these days as reptilians, understood that to control humanity, they needed to divide and conquer. They saw the potential in the concept of duality, the power it held to create conflict and confusion. By introducing the idea of separation, they could manipulate and dominate, turning unity into division, harmony into chaos. They needed to introduce the illusion of separation, the belief that we are separate from each other, from the universe, and from the source of creation itself. This illusion would make us feel isolated, alone, and vulnerable, easier to control and manipulate. It would create a world where fear and mistrust could thrive, where the bonds of unity could be easily broken. This is where the symbolism of the serpent and the Garden of Eden takes on a deeper meaning. The story is not just about a forbidden fruit, but about the introduction of duality, the birth of the ego, and the fall from a state of grace and unity. The tree of knowledge of good and evil represents the fall into duality, the moment when we became aware of our separateness, of our individuality. It symbolizes the shift from a state of pure being to a state of self-awareness, where we began to see ourselves as distinct and separate from the world around us. This knowledge, while seemingly empowering, came at a steep price. It gave us the ability to think and reason, to make choices and decisions, but it also brought with it the burden of self-awareness, the pain of separation, and the fear of the unknown. It severed our connection to the oneness, to the divine source, plunging us into a world of shadows and illusions. We lost our sense of unity, our connection to the divine, and found ourselves in a world where everything seemed separate and disconnected. This fall from grace, however, was not a singular event, but a gradual process, a slow descent into matter and duality. It was a journey that took us further and further away from our true nature, deeper into the illusion of separation and the physical world. It was the beginning of our journey as physical beings, bound by the limitations of time, space, and the illusion of separation. This journey, while challenging and often painful, is also an opportunity for growth and learning, a chance to rediscover our true nature and reconnect with the divine source. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on Stellify. I hope you have enjoyed scraping the surface on the Cassiopaeans transcripts. This deep and intriguing information was channeled by Laura Knight-Jadczyk, and books are readily available. As I continue to dig deep into our reality and why it seems humanity is kept limited from our true selves. So many fascinating stories and insights seemingly point to the same areas where we as a consciousness have fallen into a much denser reality, and that there are other outside influences wishing to keep us enslaved here. What are your thoughts on this subject? Is it possible that the true humans on this realm are more powerful than we realize? And are we really enslaved by a negative force feeding off our energy? Please let me know in the comments below.